Hey guys, Yegi here. Today I want to talk about fear and see what your thoughts are about it. So, what is fear? Is it something that we can control? Is it our subconscious controlling us because of past experiences and we don't really know how to control the fear we have? Are we born with being more fearful or being fearless? Is it just in our genes? Are we built that way? Or is it the unknown? Are we afraid because we don't know what's gonna happen? Did you know that most of the time, the things we fear never actually become true? So we waste our time and energy worrying about something, being afraid of something that might happen in the future and then never actually happens. So why do we even worry and fear the things that are not there yet? Why not just change your mentality and wait to face whatever situation you're afraid of, and then see how you're gonna react instead of just being afraid of it without giving it a shot. So one thing I realized recently is that I'm not really afraid of much. So that kind of triggered something in my head to want to talk about this. What made me fearless in a way? I know I used to be more scared of things. I used to be scared of taking chances and risks and being afraid if somebody's gonna like me, not like me, am I gonna be good enough? All this stuff, you know, I used to be afraid. I never used to be afraid of actually physically doing anything adventurous because I enjoyed the adrenaline, but I did have fear of, I guess, taking risks or doing anything that I hadn't done before. And what I learned is it was because I've never done it. So for me, it was mainly because it was something new and I didn't know what my outcome was gonna be. Was I gonna fail? But then I soon learned that, so what? What's the worst that can happen? I started changing my mentality and actually just going for it. After kind of doing it a few times, that's what I think has driven me to be fearless, to just go for it. I know it's really uncomfortable and I know it might not make sense, and if you're terrified of something, you may really not want to do it, but the reality is the only way you are going to face your fears if you actually just face it and do it, and then things become easier. Then you become more confident, you become fearless. And whatever the outcome is, take it as a learning opportunity and go ahead and keep challenging yourself. Another thing that I realized that I was doing in order to build my character of being fearless, to just go for things and go for opportunities and take risks, was to also just push myself to do it, to try. Because more times than others, anything I was afraid of, it was actually less scary than I thought it was gonna be once I actually did it. Kind of like public speaking. Those of you that have practiced it, or you might still hate it, what happens with public speaking is initially when you get up in front of a crowd and you're talking, you get all these emotions because that's our nerves and we're not used to it, we're uncomfortable, and all these crazy things happen to our bodies and we're super uncomfortable. We may even turn red and want to just hide and run away. But once we practice it and get through the first one, then the second one, the third one, the fourth one, it becomes easier and easier and easier, and we develop that comfort in doing something new. That's the same thing with kind of facing your fears. Once you face the first fear you have, and then it's not as bad as you thought, then you're more encouraged to face your second fear or third fear. So then slowly like that, I believe, is what makes us build that character of being fearless. Even if you're afraid, just do it. Just go for it. Push yourself. Or find somebody that's really gonna encourage you, to push you to just do it and get out of your comfort zone. You may hate this person for a minute, but then once you do it, you will be grateful that they pushed you. The way that I force myself to be fearless and just go for it is actually putting myself in situations that I have no choice but to take action and do something about it. For example, when I was starting my business, I just decided to quit my job, and I had no choice but to actually 100% devote to my business and make sure it was going to be successful. That's one technique you can use, is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and believe in yourself to be able to get out of it. It may be hard, it may be a struggle. You may be afraid and you may fail, but as long as you don't give up, you will work at it and get to where you want to get. I believe that's kind of what helped me, that mentality, in order to become successful or in order to achieve the goals or the things that I'm afraid of, to push myself to be fearless. And after doing that a good amount of times, I've learned that I could do anything. Why not? Let me give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? Then you end up kind of shifting your personality and shifting the way you are and actually becoming fearless. If it sounds crazy, give it a try. It may work. Just remember, everybody takes their own path to develop skills. So even if you're afraid of something and you try it doesn't work out, go ahead and do it again. Worst thing that can happen is it's gonna make you stronger in order to make sure you don't fail the second time or the third time. The reality of it is, in my opinion, none of us are born with these skills to be fearless, to take risks, to be successful. We build it based on life circumstances and experiences and what we, what we learn and how we educate ourselves. So what is the scariest thing that I've done, that I faced, and I was like, it's not that bad? The fun one was actually skydiving. So that was something was on my bucket list, and I like an adrenaline rush. So I did want to do it and face my fears, and I was really afraid, but I didn't show it. And I kept on telling myself, oh, this is gonna be fun. I love roller coasters. It's gonna be the same. You're gonna do it. But I was actually afraid, but I got through it with trying not to overthink it. And once you're in the plane and you go up, 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 and you're about to jump out, that's when you start reassessing, is this something I want to risk my life for? But my main thing was, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, I might die. No, I'm kidding. I guess what I'm trying to say, once you're up there and you actually do jump out of the plane, there's no going back. Once I did actually jump out and had that adrenaline rush and that feeling of actually I'm flying, it was so amazing. It was so worth it. I would do it over and over again. It ended up being way less scary than I thought. It was just really, really fun. The second thing that was more serious and risk-taking wise was actually starting my own business. So when I started Yegi Beauty, I actually had never ever worked at a beauty salon. I had gone to beauty school and did all that stuff. I actually also went to business school, but I never practiced these things in reality. But I was like, well, if anybody could do it, I could do it. Let me try, right? And what's the worst that can happen? I can get a job if I fail. I'm young. This is the time to take a risk. So me thinking like this actually did drive me to open the salon, but I was very afraid to take that risk because there's so much on the line. You know, all the money that I had saved, I had gotten a loan and all this stuff. So it was very scary, but again, once I did it, things started working step by step. Everything worked out and I'm so grateful I did. So the moral of the story is just go for it, work hard, don't give up, face your fears. And by doing that with smaller things, you'll be able to become fearless in order to have that mentality and that, I guess, character of being fearless and taking bigger and better risks. Okay, here's your action plan. First thing I want you to do is write down 3 things that you're afraid of, or 3 things that you're afraid to do. Then write some reasons of why you're afraid of these things. Afterwards, cross it off and just go for it. Face your fears. Again, easier said than done, but if you need help, if you need a way to attack that fear of like an action plan of physically actually what to do if you're afraid of doing something, you can email me. I'll be more than happy to try to help you face your fears or take action on the things you're afraid of. And to email, I will list it below. I've worked with a lot of people in the past. With my experience of being a student counselor at a university and also having employees that work for me, I've learned to push people to face their fears or do things that they're uncomfortable with.
Because I'm a pusher. I push people.
And when I did push them to do it because they couldn't say no to me because I was, in charge of them, I did see this excitement in them once they accomplished that thing that they were afraid of or that they were uncomfortable of doing. And a lot of times they have told me, oh, it's not as bad as I thought, you know, thanks so much for pushing me. And a lot of people that I've worked closely with in the past have become very successful or have become, have improved their lives and are doing bigger and better things. So I know it works. I know the power of pushing other people, pushing each other to grow and getting out of our comfort zone and trying to be fearless works. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Please like, share, comment below what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're afraid of. If you don't want to share it publicly, email me. I want to know where everybody's at and where your thought process is behind this. If you think I'm crazy or if this makes sense, let me know. And if there's any other topics you want me to talk about, I'd be more than happy to. Please ask the questions or email me the questions. Have an amazing day and everything's gonna be alright. Hey guys, today I want to talk about fear. Oh, sorry. Hi guys, Yegi here with another motivational video. No.
Fearless? Ugh, no. I don't know, something happening down the line.